Are you your thoughts? Here is how to approach the question, am I my thoughts, at the different stages of your spiritual awakening. In the autumn of your seeking, in the winter of suffering, in the spring of your seeing, and in the summer of your being. In the autumn, the natural season of your soul, when it is time to shed the leaves of programming, beliefs, conditioning, when it is time because you have become a seeker, and seeking is the natural consequence of this season of your soul, then questions are powerful, courageous acts of shaking those leaves off. And yes, you risk that nakedness of the exposure of suddenly I don't have these collective surrogate truths to clothe myself in. So it is an act of courage to ask. And in this stage of your soul growth, am I my thoughts is one of the significant questions to courageously ask. When you find yourself in those autumns, because they do repeat cyclically, except that over time you find yourself still moving with progression into more and more deeper and deeper spring and summer, with touches of winter, touches of autumn, but the autumn gets quieter. But when autumn is awake inside of you, that is when a question that wants wisdom shows up. Some part of you that is contracted and heavy because a belief is outdated, because a way of seeing no longer serves you. And one of the ways that you can use am I my thoughts is to deeply question whether it is true that we are our thoughts, to make this an act of self-inquiry, not to just tick this off like a to-do list item, but to genuinely sit and ponder and contemplate and reflect and meditate. When thoughts arrive, as they do, endless streams of them, are you those thoughts? Or are you the one that is witnessing the thought? Are you that which is present for the thought? Do you only exist when thoughts exist? Or do you exist prior to the thought, during and after? Just like you exist for this screen and this Cole, pixel version of Cole showing up. Your existence doesn't depend on what you are currently observing in this video. The video of Cole talking depends on you to be seen. But you exist prior to, during, and after. Thoughts that rise and fall in awareness are not little tiny containers where you exist inside of the thought. You are the space in which the thoughts arise. So when you are in a seeking, inquiring mindset, yearning, longing for truth autumn, use am I my thoughts as a tool, as an important focus point. Now, what about winter when we are suffering? In the cold, contracted winters of our soul, when we feel the weight of what it means to be human, the burden of believing in a false self, that's when questioning am I my thoughts gives us distance, gives us space. Notice the difference between I am in my fear and my fear is in me. I am in my sadness versus my sadness is in me. I am in anger, or even worse, I identify I am angry, I am afraid, I am the shame that I feel. What if those become songs? Songs in the space of the self. What if Am I my thoughts is a way to go, there is my thought like a song rising in the space. Yes, it still has a sting. It still affects my nervous system. Yes, it has pain and it warrants my attention and it deserves me working to be compassionate and loving towards my own thoughts. But can you tell the difference between I am my thoughts and I am my feelings versus I am the space in which these arise? And then from that spaciousness, we might want to not only question, am I my thoughts? But to quote Byron Katie, is that thought true? Especially the thoughts that trigger the winters of the soul. And we notice that the thought triggers the winter. There is pain, and then there is suffering. It is painful to cut my hand, but it is suffering to believe the thought that I should not have pain, or that the pain has a story and a meaning attached that causes me more heaviness and more contraction. So use the question, am I my thoughts, when you are suffering? And remember that perhaps thoughts are like songs rising in the silence. And then perhaps question, is this thought speaking the truth? Maybe I should go for a second opinion. And as we enter into the spring of awakening, of wiping sleep from our eyes, yawning and stretching, as we realize, oh, perhaps I am not this character I thought I was in my dreamed, occluded state. Perhaps I am something more free of the dream. Now the question, am I my thoughts, can be used in a slightly different way. During the spring and the spring experiences of our soul, we tend to have epiphanies, mystical insights, or at least deep seeing that brings great relief, that inspires. Here, my challenge to myself and to you is to check, am I my mystical thoughts? Am I my epiphany thoughts? Now we go another level. We're not just questioning the thoughts that bind us, that tie us into suffering in the winters. Now we are questioning, because we can get attached to the bungee jumping highs of the spring of seeing, and we might become confused that what we think we're heading towards is an experience of great magnitude. And although mystical experiences and great epiphanies can serve us, they can also become a kind of carnival land of distraction, especially if they take us away from the true natural journey of the seasons of the soul, of the waking up, which is to discover I am this ordinary, ever-present, never not free self that doesn't have a Hollywood glow about it, in the sense that it is already there. And this is not to knock how wonderful mystical experiences and epiphanies can be. But my question to myself and to those that I serve in my community is often to nod towards Ramana Maharishi's question, which is, to whom does this arise? The deep psilocybin epiphany, the mystical journey, the vision quest, all of these beautiful, wonderful adventures, to whom do they arise? Am I my mystical thoughts? Am I my epiphany thoughts? Or am I also just this, and just as in lottery winning understanding of ordinary, available, natural ground of being present for both the ordinary thought and the mystical thought, where the purpose of our spring blossoming is the fragrance of the fruit to come, is the stretching out and the realizing that we are not this contracted separateness, that indeed what the self is unbound and limitless. So to harvest from our mystical experiences and our insights, to harvest the understanding, I am this. And now we take the am I my thoughts question into summer. And here is an opportunity, a strange opportunity, and a circling back that might sound like a contradiction, but is so important in the summer. Because in the summer of our being, of our soul, this is where we are being what we truly are. This is about embodiment. This is about living an enlightened life, not as a pressure, not as an idealistic goal, but that it is natural. It is a natural expression. An apple tree grows to give. It grows, and it's been through this whole journey of all these seasons in order to embody what it is, what it was even in seed form. And here in the summer of your soul, the question, am I my thoughts, is that the strange irony is that here we reclaim our thoughts. We've been through the important stages of separating self from thought, subject from object. I am this that is observing. I am this that is prior to, during, and after. But if we remain there, especially after the spring of our epiphanies and insights and understanding, we can actually create another subtle divide, where we now divide from thoughts, and thoughts and mind and body can become the quote-unquote enemy, or seen as less than the self in its expanded, open, boundless truth. So to embody is to reclaim. And the reclaiming is, I am the oasis in which my thoughts have come to drink of the well of wisdom, to heal, to be nourished. I am this openness, teaching the mind, the heart, the body, how to shine and to sing the song of the self, to sing the home song, the original song that all songs are woven from and not ever separate from. And this embodiment is an act of deep love, where true compassion arises for even these tough, insanely difficult things that arise, called feelings, forgetting, and thoughts. Am I my thoughts? Now the answer is yes again. The yes we needed to turn into a no during autumn and winter and even spring. But the I that can claim I am my thoughts is now new, is now different. Now the I that can claim I am my thoughts is the space of the true self as pure ordinary awareness that can say, yes, I am my thoughts, but not identify as that thought. Yes, all songs that arise in me belong to me, though I am not puppeteering them, though it is their nature to arise and fall automatically, that the songs, that the thoughts are made of the self. And there are subtle nuances here that are important to understand, but it is the natural journey that in the summer of those moments of deep surrendered openness, where you know where you are feeling and where you are singing the home song through the human experience, that you can even reclaim thoughts. If this work resonates and serves you, I have a Wisdom Well group that you can join. Just check out the notes attached to this video.